Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at another career path out of the Traveler 2022 Core Rulebook Update, the Scholar. The Scholar, oh my gosh, I always wanted to play the professor from Gilligan's Island. Well, here's your chance. I always love this book. This is a great book. There's a lot of goodness in here. We're going to take a look at the Scholar career path and why it's actually a pretty viable one and a great NPC career path. Also, a quick reminder on subscribers. Come on in if you haven't subscribed yet. Everybody who has, thank you. And please take a look at the Patreon. And if there's anything you can do to join the Patreon, there are some rewards there. So take a look. Done with that, back to the important stuff. The Scholar today in Traveler, Mongoose 2nd edition on page 121. Okay, the Scholar. Who would want to play a Scholar? Well, wait a minute. There's a lot of stories to be told. The Scholar career path. Scholars are individuals trained in technological or research scientists who conduct scientific investigations into materials, situations, and phenomena, or who practice medicine. Qualifications for this are intelligence 6 up roll, which is not that hard to do, and of course, -1 die modifier for every previous career. And your assignments, you choose one of the following. Field researcher, you're an explorer or field researcher, equal at home in the laboratory or wilderness. You're a scientist. You're a researcher in some corporate or research institution or a mad scientist in an orbiting laboratory. Physician, you're a doctor, healer, or medical researcher, which can still have you be the mad scientist. Dr. Frankenstein was absolutely a medical doctor. Okay, here we take a look at your career progress. As a field researcher, your survival roll is a 6 up on endurance, and your advancement is intelligence 6 or up. As a scientist, your education is 4 up to survive the career, but advancement, it's an 8 up for intelligence. That's pretty tough. And then a physician, education is 4 up for survival, and again, this time it's education 8 plus. So you need a pretty good education if you're going to be a doctor. If you're going to be a run-of-the-mill scientist, you need a good education and a good intelligence. Mustering out benefits, pretty good actually. Starting at lowest at 5,000, all the way to 60,000 for a natural 6, and then a 7 is 100,000. Not a bad mustering out benefit. Your actual benefits, intelligence +1, education +1, 2 ship shares. Ship shares worth roughly 1 million credits. You can't cash them in, but read the section on ship shares. Social +1, scientific equipment, and then a lab ship on a 6 or a 7. Lab ship is not a bad thing to end up getting as a mustering out benefit. For your service skills, these are the ones you would get at 0, and then of course could enhance later. You would get driver or flyer, electronics, diplomat, medic, investigate, and science. So you get all those at 0 to start out, and then of course you can throw on those as you roll your character. For personal development, you have intelligence +1, education +1, soc +1, dex +1, endurance +1, and language. For advanced education, and you need a minimum education of 10 for this, you can roll art, advocate, electronics, language, engineer, or science. And then depending on your assignment, for field researcher, your options would be electronics, vac suit, navigation, survival, investigate, science. For a scientist, admin, engineer, science, science again, electronics, and science again. So you're a scientist. It makes sense that 50% of your stuff is going to be in the sciences. And then for a physician, you have medic, electronics, investigate, medic again, persuade, and science. So really nice, solid. You're not going to be a combat guy with this, but then you shouldn't be. I mean, you could still be Dr. Payne and take another career and get yourself some combat skills, but just purely in the Scholar, you're not really going to be much of a fighter type, but you are going to be very valuable aboard the ship. First thing that jumped in mind, these Scholars is, the scientist from the various 1950s movies, or as I said at the top, the professor from Gilligan's Island, who, let's face it, was based on those guys, where they are scientists, therefore they know how to do everything. Just watch The Great When Worlds Collide from 1951, and the medical doctor in that one, of course, could fly a helicopter because, he's a doctor. So, yeah, he can fly a helicopter. Why not? I love those old movies. Anyway, so we're going to take a look at your ranks and bonuses now. For a field researcher, there are no titles. At rank 1, you get Science 1. At rank 2, you get Electronics, Computers 1. At 3, you get Investigate 1. And at rank 5, you get Science 2. So, because you've already hit Science 1. So that's pretty good. That's good advancement for your various ranks. For a scientist, again, you don't get any appointments there, although I thought Mr. Peabody should have been one of them. Anybody who's really old like me knows who Mr. Peabody was from the old Jay Ward cartoons, Peabody and Sherman. But at rank 1, you get Science 1. Rank 2, Electronics, Computers 1. Rank 3, Investigate 1. And rank 5, Science 2. So pretty on point with this, with the other for field researcher. And now physician. Again, no titles other than doctor. At rank 2, Medic 1. Rank 1, Medic 1. Rank 3, Science 1. And then rank 5, Science 2. So you're going to stay rooted in the sciences. We're going to take a look at the sciences in a little bit under the skills. Just take a quick look at those as to what it is you're actually building. Because this a career path where you can build a lot of different character types. But we're going to take a look at the mishaps now. On a 1d6, a roll of 1 is the severely injured. Alternatively roll twice in the injury table and take the lowest result. 2, disaster leaves several injured and others blame you, forcing you to leave your career. So maybe you did like Dr. Doom and you blew up your dorm room. Roll in the injury table twice, taking the higher result and gain a rival. Mishaps 3, the planetary government interferes with your research for political or religious reasons. If you continue your work openly, increase science by 1 level and gain an enemy. If you continue your work secretly, increase science by 1 level and reduce your social by 2. This mishap does not cause you to leave the career. Number 4, an expedition or voyage goes wrong, leaving you stranded in the wilderness. Gain survival 1 or athletics, dexterity or endurance 1. By the time you find your way home, your job is gone. Mishaps 5, your work is sabotaged by unknown parties. You may salvage what you can and give up, leave the career, but retain this term's benefit roll or start again from scratch. Lose all benefit rolls from this career, but you do not have to leave. That's a tough one. And number 6, a rival researcher blackens your name or steals your research. Gain a rival, but you do not have to leave this career. So you get to stay in the career for all the mishaps. You have a choice to make for number 5, but that's pretty interesting that you get to stay in the career. And now for the events. On a 2, on 2d6, disaster. Roll in the mishap table, but you're not ejected from the career. On a 3, on 2d6, you are called upon to perform research that goes against your conscience. Accept and you gain an extra benefit roll, a level in each of any 2 science skill specialties, and D3 enemies. So you're doing that research that people just aren't happy with. 4, you are assigned to work on a secret project for a patron or organization. Gain 1 of Medic 1, Science 1, Engineer 1, Electronics 1, or Investigate 1. And that's not 1 to an existing skill you already have. That's giving you the skill. You win a prestigious prize for your work, garnering both the praise and envy of your peers on a roll of 5. Gain die modifier +1 for any benefit rolls. There's your opportunity for that lab ship. On a 6 on 2 dice, you are given advanced training in specialist field. Roll education 8 up to gain any 1 skill of your choice at level 1. That's a real good one. 7, life event. Roll on the life events table. On a roll of 8, you have the opportunity to cheat in some fashion, advancing your career and research by stealing another's work, using an alien device, taking a shortcut, and so forth. If you refuse, you gain nothing. If you accept, roll deception 8 up or admin 8 up. If you succeed, you gain a die modifier +2 to any 1 benefit roll, and it may increase any skill by 1 level, but also gain an enemy. If you fail, gain an enemy and lose 1 benefit roll for this career. So I like that. The number 8s are always kind of neat in here. Now 9, you make a breakthrough in your field, gain die modifier +2 in your next advancement roll. That's a good opportunity where a hospital or a learning institute would be interested in hiring you. And then events on 10 roll, you become entangled in a bureaucratic or legal morass that distracts you from your work. Gain 1 of admin 1, advocate 1, persuade 1, or diplomat 1. On 11, you work for an eccentric but brilliant mentor who becomes an ally. Either increase science by 1, level or die modifier +4 for your next advancement roll thanks to their aid. And on a 12, your work leads to considerable breakthrough. You are automatically promoted. So the scholar is a nice, solid career path. You're not going to get hurt for being in it. You are, you are going to definitely be not the combat guy. You're going to be the support guy. You're going to be the guy that figures out why the alien android is attacking you, not the guy who actually defeats it necessarily. Very good scientist, one of my favorites, because I'm a big fan of the old Fantastic Four comic books, Reed Richards. Reed Richards is, smartest man in the universe, whatever. Reed Richards, in the old ones, especially the ones written by Stan Lee, would always come up with some doowacky, which he would be able to strap on a guy and boom, they're fighting Claw, the Master of Sound, so Reed gets some vibranium, and while wearing the vibranium is able to defeat Claw, things like that. Reed was always coming up with some gadget that was defeating the bad guy. I love that for a scientist type character. Okay, so now we take a look at science itself. This is really the only one I'm going to take a look at of the various skills as pertains to this. But the science skill covers not just knowledge, but also practical application of that knowledge where such practical application is possible. There are a large range of specialties. Now here is the list they give you. This list is by no means exhaustive. If somebody came to me with something they wanted to do, internal medicine, internal xenomedicine specifically for Aslan, I don't know why, but they want to, fine, then I would allow it. If a guy came to me and wanted to be a phrenologist, I would laugh. Phrenology is the study of bumps on your head to determine what a criminal you are and things like that from the 19th century. So specialties would be archaeology, study of ancient civilizations, including previous imperiums and ancients. It also covers techniques of investigation and excavations. That's a real good one for traveler. That one kind of writes itself. Astronomy, the study of stars and celestial phenomena, also good. Biology, the study of living organisms. Chemistry, the study of matter at the atomic, molecular, and macromolecular levels. Cosmology, the study of the universe and its creation. Cybernetics, the study of blending living and synthetic life. Economics, the study of trade and markets. Genetics, the study of genetic codes and engineering. History, the study of the past as seen through documents and records as opposed to physical artifacts. Linguistics, the study of languages. Philosophy, the study of beliefs and religions. Physics, the study of the fundamental forces. Planetology, the study of planet formation and evolution. Psionicology, the study of psionic powers and phenomena. Psychology, the study of thought and society. Robotics, the study of robot construction and use. Sophontology, the study of intelligent living creatures. And xenology, the study of alien life forms. So there's a real good sample, by no means exhaustive. And as I said, if somebody came to me and they really wanted to have a specialization where maybe they're going to take cybernetics, but they're going to take cybernetics as pertain to Kukri. And they're human, but for whatever reason, that the Kukri physiology has always fascinated them. So they're taking cybernetics to help Kukri that have lost a limb still seem to be natural Kukri. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this. And again, this makes for a great NPC driver for your story. So definitely a career to take a look at. I've always liked the Scholar as a career path. As I said, one of my favorite characters in comic books is Reed Richards. One of my favorite characters on Gilligan's Island was the Professor. When I was a little kid, I always thought, wow, that guy's so smart. How does the actor remember all this stuff? And now that I'm older, of course, I know that it's just hysterical. But the Scholar can be a really good player career, or it can be a great career for an NPC who's going to drive the story. Let's face it, at least at my table, most of my players want to be able to do some kind of combat. And to that end, the Scholar thing might leave them a little cold, but then they might go ahead and take a turn as a scout for one round and then become a Scholar, something like that. So there are a lot of different ways you can work this in as a primary career or even a secondary or tertiary career, depending on what your traveler is up to. So that's all I've got to say today about our good friends, the Scholars. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you heard, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And that's it. I am going to continue the career paths. I haven't decided which one we're going to do next. It might be Prisoner, which I probably will be, or I might go over to Army. But one way or the other, I am going to continue all the career paths till I finished all the career paths out of this book, and I've got a few others that I'm going to take a look at. So that's it for today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time, and I will see you next time.